Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, for me too.
we met many times in Berlin, but I think I never asked you this question. How did you start your journey with music, actually?
So I've always been going for music and into discovering new music. And I think I was subconsciously starting to go into the DJ direction when I was working in a bar. Where at 18, I was always making playlists for the evening and looking for new music to share while working in the bar. And then in 2015, I moved in Berlin, and then I discovered the techno scene and partying. And I was just really into digging music and discovering artists. And I would go see DJ, and then I would go home and look for all the discography and still making lots of playlists. And then I was always thinking I would not start DJing, but it was it was obvious I would. And then 3 years ago I started DJing, and I was I had this experience as a dancing and going on the dance floor and all to build a set and what I would want to hear on a club. And just I had already all the music I wanted to play because I've been digging for years before that.
Very interesting. And what kind of music was that? Was it the same that you listen to now? Or?
So there is a lot of the same. Also music I'm still playing toward this old school rough sound. And but I'm always discovering music in many genres. I'm never limiting myself to techno. And so also you can hear that in my sets, I think.
Yeah. And for example, how do you discover music today?
So today, I mean, I follow lots of artists and I will check their new release. But also, Discog is a big platform for me to dig music because I would just lose myself into opening so many tabs and discovering new artists and old sounds.
Yeah.
And of course, there's all the artists I follow on Bandcamp, on SoundCloud, and checking their new sound and also listening to others people's sets and there's just so many ways of discovering music.
Very interesting. Do you buy through Bandcamp mainly?
Yeah, mainly Bandcamp, because I think it's the fairest platform for label and artists.
Yeah, to make sure that money gets to the label.
Exactly, yeah. Also, a lot of people send me their unreleased music, which is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's
From us,
Yeah, it's crazy how many new people are making music. How many new releases every day.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it never stops. So many amazing people, artists.
Yeah, it's true. And I think now more than ever, I think we have an explosion of accessibility to tools to make music, and there's tons of producers who are making music.
So many. It's amazing.
It's crazy, yeah. Do you tend to follow more labels, and then from labels you find artists, or you go an artist and then you find labels and then similar artists?
I think I do both. So many artists make me discover labels and vice versa. And it's
Yeah. And in terms of for example, for DJing, how are you practicing? How have you practiced in the past to train yourself to be better DJ?
Yeah, so when I started, I was going to Pirate Studio a lot because I didn't have the money to buy a setup. And so that was good because it's not so expensive. At least it used to not be. And I was going to practice there every week a lot. And now I practice at home, but also it's also about looking and organizing my music. That is very important, how I practice. It will all the preparation before I set. For me, it's mostly about organize my music, sort it so that when I play, I know where to find the tracks I want to use to go in that direction.
Yeah.
But it's I spend most of my time on Recordbox and sorting music, discovering music. And now I have a setup at home, of course. But
you're practicing.
Yes. Practicing is very important anyway.
Very cool. And for example, tell me more about the process of organizing music for you. So let's say you buy out of Bandcamp or you get a promo, download folder from there. Where does it go?
Yeah, I'm such a maniac on Recordbox. On Recordbox, I'm very organized and I would always sort my music. Every year I have folder from the harder sound or the softer sound, and then I will divide into a kind of subgenre or mood of the tracks. But then also for my gigs, I have a template folder that is divided in mainly 10 playlists for beginning of set, tension mood or special tracks. And then so I would always sort my track into the year folder and then into the music I play on gigs at the moment folder. That it's a folder I update all the time.
Yeah.
And then I also use the star system for the intensity of the tracks. And
So
like,
number of stars is the more intense it gets.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
5 stars would be super intense.
Super intense track.
And
Yeah.
do you so when you look about, let's say you have a gig tomorrow, you need to play, do you prepare a playlist and you stick to it, or you
No,
prepare?
I never prepare my set. I would prepare like the 4 first track and the 2 last ones, and sometimes I put 2 different options for the end.
Okay.
And then on the middle, it's like I would just go with the flow. Like I think for me, it's a communication with the crowd,
Yeah.
and also on my mood at the moment. I don't know how I'm going to feel, so I cannot plan it. And like it will be a communication on the moment, and then because I have all this folder, and it will be easier for me to go in one direction because I know where to find the tracks for this moment. Like I just do on the moment and do how I feel. But like I really don't like to prepare my set. Like I start when I started DJing, like to prepare really more, and I was not having fun playing because I would not surprise myself or just like to be too restricted.
Like you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
And I respect people who do it, but it's not for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And does it ever happen that, for example, in long sets, you're playing and then you
Yeah.
get stuck? You feel like, fuck, I'm taking a slightly different direction than what I should.
Yeah.
How do you go back? Do you have some safe tracks that you bring in?
There is some track I would play often. Also, I think it happened also to me in this moment when it's a long set and you're like out of like idea or where to go. But I always save the playlist of my previous set, and so and then I would maybe like go to this like transition I know worked till I find the inspiration again. So I would have like this safety spot I could go if I need to. But like yeah, it happens if you play a long set.
Yeah.
Or you're like, okay, where do I go now?
Yeah, for sure.
But that's the skill of a DJ. It's about how to build a set and how to change the direction and like.
Yeah. You said something very interesting for me, which is it's always a two-way conversation with the crowd.
Yeah, it is. The set I made with the crowd. It's not me alone.
Yeah. And are there ways, for example, for you to get feedback from the crowd live? Do you observe people dancing? You see reactions to tracks? Or something else?
Yeah, I think you see the reaction and like the way people are dancing. And I mean, there are some crowd who are not more reactive than others for sure. But like, yeah, I think it's about the reaction and seeing how they dance and if they shout or, yeah. Sometimes it can be hard, but if there is too much distance with the crowd, it's harder. That's why I don't like to be on a high stage or like far from the crowd. For me, I want to be the closest and like not exactly, and not the focus on me, but like that it's easy to be close from the people.
Yeah. And does it ever happen to you that, for example, you read a reaction in a way that is negative to you in the moment? You feel like, oh shit, maybe people don't like it.
No, I didn't. It didn't happen to me, luckily.
Yeah, that's great.
I was scared I would lose my way, but no, it didn't happen.
Because that's one thing that I hear sometimes. I observe in myself as well, is that sometimes people, especially people like you said that are communicating a lot, they want to have a two-way conversation.
Yeah,
it's easier than think, maybe everybody's going for a smoke.
Yeah.
You think, holy shit, I'm fucking something else for me.
I mean, also it's like we all been playing to dance floor that half empty.
Yeah.
I think it happened to every artist, and it's like in that way. Also, you cannot take it personally, and then I would have just fun with myself as well. And I mean, also then you would read easier the people because there's less people.
Yeah.
But like it's also like you need to take pleasure doing it, and it's like also I want to have fun, and usually if you have fun, then you translate this to people, and then they would react.
For sure. I think that's a very important thing, that I think the input that comes from the DJ in terms of how they're behaving.
Yeah, of course you share something with them as well, so it's like they would receive it or not.
And so someone told me something, it was about a festival, not necessarily about a performance, but it's important that everybody wants to express something, expresses that fully, including the DJ and the artist, because that almost gives implicitly the permission to people to do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You need to give something as an artist for sure, like with your music or with your movement or No, it's interesting.
Yeah. And now that we're talking about this, especially expression. So Radical Softness, your chosen DJ name, and artist name. How did they come about, and the meaning of softness, especially? Like, tell me more about it.
It goes together. You cannot divide the softness and the radical, because like the term come from Laura Matisse, and she's a visual and poet artist. And it's about like not being afraid to express your emotion in a world that considers them as weakness. So it's like a concept of radical softness, and like So you cannot just take the softness, it goes together.
Yeah.
Like there is a meaning together. And yeah, I think it's like something I've been reflecting on my life. And when I saw these words, I was like, oh yeah, okay, it makes sense. Like I relate to them. And also I relate to them musically because it's about like expressing your emotion. And I think music is emotional. Like there's like all the emotions, so it's positive, negative, and it's like, oh, you can lose yourself with the in the music and like access to your emotion even more and
Yeah.
release them, like as an artist or as a dancer, like both way.
Or as a person as well.
Yeah,
And
as a person, of course. Yeah.
yeah. And one thing that I've noticed also in the way you communicate with the audience is that always you share a lot about this, about sharing
Yeah.
one's feelings more openly and emotions.
Yeah.
What you do in your life, beyond music and art that you're creating, to feel more emotions for yourself.
I mean, I think a lot of self-acceptance of my emotions and like of mindfulness, of being in touch with how I feel and of never be scared to express it. Like there was always emotion that are harder to express or some that are easy. Like if you say like all the happy emotion are easy to
Yeah.
express, but there's also all the angers and all the like sadness that are like emotion that
Yeah.
I try to always release and express them and like just embrace them. And that's something I do every day and that I keep learning how to do better.
Yeah.
But that's like, yeah, way of life.
Yeah. And is this something that was always natural to you, or something you learned?
No, I think it was always natural, but I didn't have all the tools to do it correctly. And I learn and I keep learning how to do it better.
Yeah.
Always. It's a path.
Yeah, of course. And I'm very curious because it's something that I think I'm working on as well for me. And is something that you've learned, you got inspired by someone, or came to you?
I think I got inspired by many people about how they deal with their own emotions. But for myself, it's like, yeah, a lot of mindfulness and like, yeah, like just learning how to react. And like, also, I think I had to face some very harsh emotion to learn how to deal with them and say, okay, this is not making me feel good. I need to release and work on how I deal with this emotion instead of being the victim of them.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I think it's something we all learn like soon enough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's
And yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah, and I say it's like a ongoing pattern we need to learn, and like,
Yeah.
I keep doing it.
Do you ever have moments where, for example, that affects your life? For example, anxiety, I don't know, or fear, or sorrow, or grief. These unpleasant emotions that make you stuck for a second, and that blocks your creativity.
Yeah.
Does that ever happen to you? Because my question is, on one hand, you want to feel these emotions because it's important to process them, but then on the other hand, you also want to keep being creative and doing your best work.
Yeah.
How do you navigate these
I
situations?
think with lots of self-acceptance and being very soft with myself, because I think that doubt is part of the creative process, because like it makes you want to learn more and like then you keep being a student and like you soft with yourself and you say, okay, then I want to learn more, and then it will like the more you learn, the less doubt you will have. But it's like I think it's like very important to have this moment of self-doubt, but like and to embrace this like unpleasant emotion. And it's like they are part of us, we will always have them, but how we react to them, it's we choose this. Like it's a choice, and it's like lots of self-acceptance. And I think every artist is part of being an artist.
Yeah. Doubts. Anxiety. Crushing.
Not anxiety, but like the questioning and the doubt. And it's like it's all about there's so many techniques to navigate through them. And it's like like for example, we like see like setting goals and like breaking the goal into small pieces, and like so then it will make it less anxious, less anxious. Because if you see these big goals and you are small in front of it, you are like, okay, then I'm going to be anxious. But if you break it into small parts, and I think also it's important to acknowledge the path you did already. And it's like because we always like see things like we always like learn in a very non-linear way. And if we compare ourselves to like 2 weeks ago when we were doing amazing, and now we're like, okay, then like I went backyard. But if you compare to yourself like 2 years ago or something, then you will see the process on the long term, and that helps like go against the anxiety and like forget how much you've done already.
Yeah, very important. And that certainly helps. And in terms of self-acceptance, is there any practice that you do meditation or something else
Yeah,
for you
yeah,
to
I
be?
do meditation, and that helps to recenter and like let this, like see this through and let them go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's also about the emotional support system and like talk with people that are supportive and that share with you and that you can share and that make you feel good. And yeah, reflection, and yeah, there's lots of practice.
Yeah, and it's a long journey.
Yeah, it's a long
life
journey. I think it's a never-ending journey, but it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, indeed, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And going back to your DJ career and adventures, and was there a moment where you started feeling, for example, that your DJing is becoming or has become like a career or some sort of career? Do you feel like that right now?
Yeah, I think I see it as a career because it's lots of work,
Yeah.
but I mean it's a pleasurable career.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's a lot of work and you need to be focused and have like a routine that is like keep you doing like this so that you can work in a way that feels good, and it's like it's not only about fun, but like I mean it is super fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I sit in a career of like that I have a work routine that I will like prepare for my set, that I will like keep a structure that makes it a healthy one as well. Because I think it's easy to just see the fun and like party a lot and stuff, but it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
You need a balance probably.
Yeah,
with-
exactly.
Yeah,
It's
because
like-
traveling especially,
Yeah.
touring,
Yeah,
acting,
yeah.
being in clubs, working at night.
Exactly. That's why I think I see it as a career in the way of like you need a balance of self-care and work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and separation.
Yeah, very interesting. What kind of balance and self-care do you practice on a weekly basis to balance out the traveling, heavy touring?
Yeah, I mean during the week I work, so like I will always like sleep not so late, and during the day I will like have lots of time for myself, also lots of self-care and like keeping a balance in the personal life and work. And also like, yeah, I mean yeah, the sleep is important, and because also on weekend when you tour you see a lot of people, and I always need lots of time to recover from this social energy. So that's a very important one for me, to like I will spend lots of time alone during the week as well, and focusing on the music, but like just by myself.
Yeah, yeah. So you, I would say you are more an introvert than extrovert.
I mean, I think I'm both, but like it's never only one or the others. And I love sharing with people, and I love the social part around the music industry. Like meeting new people is like I love it. But like yeah, during the week I need to recover from that, and like how I recharge myself.
Yeah. It takes some
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were there points in recent times where you started feeling that your DJ career, the part of your life, was picking up, and were the signals, maybe specific events, bookings you got, or messages from people that made you feel, okay, this is actually turning into something big?
I don't know if it's something big, but it's like it's difficult to say. But like, yeah, I think that receiving more bookings and people appreciating the music I share and the work I do, it's like big sign. And yeah, I think like when you got requests from bigger promoter or bigger party, but I think it's like I still share in a very authentic way, like with my music, and that I will always prefer like playing in smaller places, and like that is something I really appreciate. How like I'm still being perceived as a very authentic artist of that, of like I don't only have big bookings and like, but that's what I want and that's what I look for. And so I don't know what it means to that the career pickups, because I guess we all have different goals, and like for me the goals is to stay in that way, to be like to play at queer party, to play in smaller clubs, and like that's where I find the most pleasure.
So in a way, so it seems like you achieved perfectly that already.
Yeah, I'm happy where I'm at. Yeah.
So if you look at yourself in your life in the next 5 years, 10 years, or whatever time horizon you want, what changes would you make?
What changes?
Yeah.
I mean, I want to produce more music anyway, and release more on that, and express myself as an artist through production more. So that's a big goal for the next years. And yeah, I hope that I will still be living my career in an authentic way, and like sharing like be perceived in this authentic way. And I hope that still my like my audience will be broader and like that, but like still perceiving that way. And also I hope that in 5 or 10 years I can use my experience and my journey as an artist to support and help newcomer artists as well. I mean, that's a goal for sure.
Very interesting on this part in terms of, so this would be for mentoring other people or to help other people that are starting off.
Yeah, I think, and sharing and like, giving a space and like showing what I live.
If you look at authenticity as a concept, like what would be a non-authentic way of creating art and what is an authentic way to creating art in your mind?
I guess it's like you need to stay true to your value and do it as well for yourself. Share what's matter for you and not what you think matter to others. And I think like it will be less authentic if you do it more about like, oh, this is working, I want to do what's working instead of what matter to me.
And for your personal like story, do you ever feel this pressure of, I don't know, an agent or someone, another colleague DJ that says, oh, you should do this thing. And then you feel like, no, I don't want to do it. Do you ever feel that
I think
pressure?
that will be always the non-spoken pressure for like you get on social media or, for example, or in the scene of like follow trend or do that. But no, I don't let it touch me, I think. I would always do what I want and what matter for me. And I think it's something I'm vocal in my art, and like I will always refuse projects that don't share the same value as me.
Yeah.
But that's also a privilege, like to be able to say no. And
yeah. And it's a privilege that you are actually working for, right? In a way, you decided to give yourself this privilege.
Yeah. I give myself this privilege. Yeah. It's not without price, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so you feel, for example, when you look at the music career from a financial support and standpoint, for artists that are considering that as a life choice, as a career choice, what could be a recommendation for them to feel less financial pressure or to be able to allow themselves exactly this freedom?
I guess it depends. I don't know. I think it's like it's hard if you depend financially of the money of gig to always align with yourself. And I would never judge someone who to accept something because like they need the money. I mean, like the pressure of capitalism is real, you know. It's like and like it's not easy, but like it's a difficult question. I think it's like about working with people that share the same value as you and like opening yourself door in the direction you want and like it's difficult.
It's difficult. Yeah. And talking about another felt pressure from most people is, you alluded before, to social media. Like what you think that people think about you, what you see on social media, what you think you should be doing on social media to get visibility. What would be, if you want, an authentic way for a new artist to make sure that they can communicate their message, be visible to people that are connecting with their message, and to stand out? Like, have you ever thought about social media in this way?
Yeah, I think social media is a very important tool, and it reflects your goals and your ambition. So it's like you can use it and grow very fast if you play by the rules, and if you express yourself. Like there is lots of way of reaching, like growing your audience, and it's like, but it's also reflecting of your goals, so you can also take it easy and just like really play by your own rules and share yourself, and then it's gonna be slower, but it will reflect yourself in your own way. And it's like you can share a video of yourself playing every week, and then your algorithm will go fast, or you can just like decide to share less and share stuff that are more just for you. And like also I think there is so much like randomness into social media of like you never know if something is going to work out as well. And it's like but I think it's just very important to share what matters to you and in an unfiltered way. And then people will understand or not, but like it's easy to compare yourself to others, and
I think
that's why I think it's very important to have good boundaries on social media, of like unfollow the people that make you feel bad about yourself, and like
boundaries meaning not opening social media every day, for example.
For example, it can be it's super personal, what are your boundaries on social media, but it can be about not replying to people that if you don't want to. I mean, it's your own space. It's like no one has to dictate you how to do it, and it's like just do what feels good to you. Share what feels good to you.
Yes. Have you set some boundaries for yourself with Instagram, for example?
Yeah, I try to not follow so many people, and I post when I want. Also, I don't repost every gigs video or everything because I don't like to post so much, and I post stuff that matter to me more, and that's some boundaries I have. And sometimes I take times to reply to people as well, because like there's no rush.
Yeah, there's no rush. Is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, exactly.
For example, do you feel rushed in any aspect of your life? Like, it can be music or other things.
I mean, I think at the moment things always feel that they go super fast, but I try to not feel rushed. For example, with production, like I feel so many people release music just because like music has a short lifespan online because there's so many. And for me, I don't rush to release any music. But no, I don't think I feel so much rush.
For sure. Which I think I saw a post. I don't remember who was the person who made it like a couple of weeks ago. One of the, I guess, old school label owners and producers, and they were saying something around, in nowadays world, it feels like every artist has to follow the same exact formula and produce as much as possible, share as much as possible. But this is basically commercial, the kind of like industrializing music, and it's not art anymore.
Yeah, it's not. And also like social media is a canvas. You can do what you want with it. You don't need to copy any path. And also the way you release music or make music, like why is there's this rule that every first of the month everyone make the same post about the upcoming gigs, and it's like, do as you want. Like you don't need to like. I think we all influence each other of like, oh, they do it, so I should do it. But it's like, no, do your own thing, and that will make you special as well. But it's true that it's very industrialized.
Yeah, and I think as humans, we have the tendency to we just kind of see what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
We think that's normal.
Yeah. But
That's
it's
what we should
art.
do.
We should not do that.
Yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's art. I mean,
It's art, yeah.
It's art. Like, I mean, the way you express yourself.
Yeah.
It's completely free. There's no rules.
Yeah.
Break the rules.
There is this you know, Tyler, the creator, this huge hip hop artist,
Okay, yeah.
American. He's kind of a genius of this genre. And there was one of the interviews actually was talking about this. It was saying all the hip hop icons on the 90s, they were all posing. Everybody was posing like this. And everybody of my generation was doing the same shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? Why would you
Yeah,
post
why?
pictures like this? And then he said he discovered there was like heritage of people buying huge watches that they wanted people to see.
Okay.
And then he was like, what the fuck?
That's just
Imagine.
for this.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah, I think we all pick up on these things, like not even thinking about it. I need to make a post about my next gig.
Yeah, we will realize where it's coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like the same way now videographer always do the same like kind of style when they film people or like from the back and moving a lot. And it's like 1 year ago, 2 years ago, it was not like that, but now everyone do it.
Yeah.
And so like
It's so interesting.
Yeah, these trends, but they come and they go. So
It's true. It's true. And then for example, for you, like, you already said, like, you post whenever you want, whenever you have something meaningful. Do you think so much about what you post, or you just say, okay, I want to post this, for example, a mix or a gig experience, and you just put it out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I post I don't think about it so much. I will always announce my date because I want people to know where I play and post about my mix. But also because I like to share about the track list and share the support from the artist I play. But no, I don't think so much. And I will share if I have a good video. But no, I don't think. Yeah, and sometimes I just don't want to post.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, it makes sense. It's boundaries, as you were saying, right? Yeah. And in terms of like the music scene today, for example, what are your feelings about how inclusive is, let's say, techno, and then we can expand to more electronic music. How inclusive is the scene today, 2023, Berlin, or anybody else?
I think it improved a lot, and I see that there is so much more inclusivity from promoter and like in the scene in general. I mean, it can be better, of course, because it's not only about making an inclusive lineup, but it's about how you care about the people you booked. And when you book like a diverse and like a lineup with more minority, that you also make sure that everyone is safe and treated equally. And I think the scene is still very harsh, like as a flinta artist or a minority, you still face lots of violence and like discrimination, and it's like that could be improved so much, but
Yeah.
I see that it evolved already a lot. I mean, when I entered the scene, there was not so many flinta artists, and I couldn't have a representation, which is also why I started to DJ very late, because I didn't feel welcome in the scene as well. I didn't see like, oh, there's a place for me, I could go there.
Yeah.
But then I see it improve, and that's why also I try to make the scene like feel welcoming for others. Yes.
Yeah. When you were saying when you started, was it already in Berlin after you moved here? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just as a dancer, when I would go to a club, like the lineup would be mostly white men. And
Yeah,
it's like, so it's like, oh, you can make it as a flinta person, and
Yeah.
yeah. And still now, I think it's hard, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have seen like an improvement in the last
yeah,
8
you have
years.
seen an
Right?
improvement. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you think are responsibilities for different types of people, organizations in the scene? For example, promoters, labels, artists. What can an artist do to make other people feel more inclusive and for the scene to be more respectful of everybody?
I mean, I think every artist can be good allies and like use like their voice to like support like diverse community in the scene, and also like talk with promoter and like find way how to make it safer, and also like use the platform to raise the voice of minorities, and and collaborate with people, and
Yeah.
I think as an artist we can do a lot for sure. Yes.
And for promoters, for example, what have you seen that works? well
Yeah, I
in
mean,
terms-
promoter have been always working better to have like inclusive lineup, but and I think like that's something as a promoter you have an obligation to do, like to create like also like you want your crowd to be represented in the lineup, and you will always have a nicer crowd if you have a diverse lineup, so that people can feel represented into, and also like and not only like book diverse artists, but make the place safe for the artist, because like I don't know, you book a trans artist, but then like everyone that will interact with the artist when they have the gig will misgender them. That's violent, and it's like as a promoter you should keep these things on mind and like make it the place a safer place for the artist you book, not only book them, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
What could be to make it explicitly safe?
yeah, like raise awareness with the people working for you, and like have talks and like workshops so that everyone is aware of, and like educate themselves on what minorities are living and how to treat people respectfully.
Yeah, I mean it's a job, right?
Yeah,
And
it is, but I mean it's like a job
important.
you accept to do when you become a promoter, I think so. Like
yeah,
having an awareness team, it's also for the crowd, like having like how to raise awareness for the crowd, like how to reduce speech of hate in a party, or like make everyone feel safer.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's important. And do you see, for example, in Berlin compared to other places, is this happening like in a
Yeah,
nice
I think
way?
it's happening, and it's like there are so many people who really care about it and work for the scene to be a safer place. But we can always be better, and
Yeah.
it's not everywhere. But like there are some parties who care about that.
Yeah,
For
I've
sure.
seen that a lot. Like there's a lot of parties in Berlin who are really making an effort.
Yeah,
Awareness
yeah,
team or
they're-
not, but they're still really putting an effort into
Yeah,
speaking with people. That's the most important thing.
yeah, exactly. Having a dialogue with people, with the crowd, and also asking people how to make it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to your own music and your own DJ and gigs, collaborations.
Yeah.
You've done a lot, and you are still doing a lot of back-to-backs.
I love to collaborate with
Yeah. And how did, for example, tell me more about some of the latest back-to-backs that you have been playing. What do you enjoy about them? How did they came about?
Yeah, I mean,
Any plans?
Yeah, I'm mostly back to back with friends. So like people I meet in the scene or outside, and that we like share like a connection. And also it's mostly about music, because it's like I will learn from them and they will learn from me, and it's like about sharing. And it's like so like, and like I want to share to collaborate with people, like I can talk music, and that like you see that we are both passionate about music, and we come together to create something new. That's the beauty of collaboration. And it's like, it's what I love. And like, I had some really nice back-to-back recently, and like, it's like, then it also make you focus in that direction of your music, of like, okay, I will share more of this side of me with them, and like then we create something new together. And like, I don't know, back to back are really fun. But I need to have the connection with the person, and like I cannot do back to back with someone I don't know. There is the human side of it.
So the connection comes first always for you, and then you for example, you proactively go to a promoter and say, I would like to play back to back with Zenzel, Lakese, or it's usually the promoter that eventually say, hey, do you want to play back to back?
I mean, both happen. Some back to back I made happen. The one with GKS, like I made it happen because like we are friends, and like we really wanted to play together because I thought like musically it will make so much sense and so much fun. And sometimes it's like with like, is it the promoter reach out to us? But we already talked about it before. Was like, let's do a back to back. And also with Who Is Us One, we like promoter reach out to us because we've been like, we made a track together and like we play together. So they're like, that would be really fun. Can we book you? But so like there is both cases that happen.
And so you mentioned already something, which is connection before. What makes a successful collaboration?
I think it's about sharing and like communication. Like during the back-to-back, you communicate. And then you like follow each other. There's not like one person who take the lead, but it's like really a communication. And like you say, like for example, I like to play one track each, and then like sometimes you will have two tracks that work really well, so you say it. And also talking about what should we do for beginnings, what should we do for end, or which direction should we take. Like a bit of structure of the set, talk about it before, and like I always share tracks before with the people I'm back to back. Like we always share each other before. I think communication make a good collaboration.
It's important.
It's so important.
What can go wrong?
What
are things that could go that for you would be, oh fuck, if this thing happens, it's a hard thing to.
I think if like the person would take too much the lead without communicating, that will go wrong. Because I wouldn't feel comfortable.
It's not collaboration anymore.
Then it's not a collaboration.
That's if you play with friends and people that.
They're not aware of those space.
No, you can play, and they leave you like the last CDJ on the left. Go play. You can't even get to the mixer.
I'll cut your track too fast.
Exactly. That happens.
That wouldn't be nice. It never happened to me, luckily. So I think I chose right back-to-back partners.
Exactly. I think you're good at selecting. Probably.
Maybe. Yes.
And going to your productions at the moment. So you mentioned Ruiz Oswan. And what's your production routine at the moment? Are you dedicating time every week? Or not?
I mean, having a routine would be nice. I think that's the issue. There is not proper routine at the moment. It's like I produce and I produce a lot and spend a lot of time on Ableton, but I still have so much to learn, and I keep on learning. And it's like, I think my biggest issue at the moment is not finishing project, which is like, I guess, an issue for lots of producer. But I have a remix I need to finish for the end of the month. That's gonna be nice. And then like, I think I need to set myself some deadline and more goals. So that's like, so I would dedicate myself more like with something to look to.
So you feel like, for example, you're starting tracks, but you're not completing the project.
Yes, exactly.
And then you start the second one, third
exactly,
one.
I have so many start, like beginning of project that are not finished. And
it happens, I think.
I think it's very common.
So at the moment you actually answered, you don't have a routine.
Because also I still have my job that takes lots of times. And that's it's a big frustration I have. I would love to have more time dedicated to production. But just that sometimes it's hard with like working 4 days a week
for sure.
and then preparing for gigs. And I always spend lots of time digging music. Like it's still part of my routine. And so like, it's a frustration, but it's like, you have to make it happen, and I will. And it's like, I think I need to involve my workflow, so it's gonna be easier. It's on the plan. And like,
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
And what's capturing your attention lately in terms of like new artists, new types, subgenres,
Yeah.
artists?
That's a good question. Because I'm discovering new artists all the time. I've seen lots of new artists from South America, like Argentina. There's such a vibrant scene there. Like it's crazy. I discover new artists from there all the time. Like there is this label, Ritmo, that is really nice. Make me discover lots of artists. And I mean, yeah, I discover so much all the time. It's a bit hard to say.
There is, I don't know if it's the same type of music you're thinking about, but there is this kind of like, if you want, thread of like jungle techno.
Yes,
So good.
tribally a bit, yes.
Yeah, with Marcal.
Yeah.
I just found another artist, William Artist, I think.
Yeah, I heard about this one.
Yeah, and I think that they're making this almost like tribal.
Yeah.
How's it acting? Super fun to play, super
Yeah.
fun also to dance to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why it's always remind me, because I was always playing so much old school, and like all this new wave of techno remind me of the old school, the how they play with drums and like
Yes. Yeah.
it's really fun.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going to the last part of our chat, I'll ask you a couple of questions. What drives you in life?
I think learning. Like my motto in life is to keep learning all the time. Because like when you learn, your mind is always open about everything. Like I'm not an expert in anything. I'm still learning. That's like what drives me. It's like to keep discovering. And it can be like learning in everything, like to meet new people. Then you learn about different visions and you keep your mind open, and about music and about like any skills. Like I think I'm just so curious about everything.
Yeah. You said that
That's
before.
what drives me. It's like discovering.
You said that before, a student for life.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a student for life.
Super cool. And
Yes.
another question is like, in spite of what you do,
I mean, in spite of all the challenge and all the struggle I live and face in the scene and in life, like that's why, like, in spite of that, I will keep like being authentic to myself and like true to myself, and like keep learning. And yeah, because I think we're all like superhero, and like we face so many struggle, and like especially like the minority, especially in our scene. Like I mean, for me, I'm so amazed by all the queer people in our scene, and they are superhero to me, like for me. And like so it's like, in spite of all the challenge they face, they are still there, they're still expressing themselves and being themselves, and that's beautiful. Like
yeah, it takes strength.
Yeah, it takes resilience and strength, and it's like
yeah. And if you have a full day where you can do nothing productive, how do you spend your time?
I think I would binge watch a series. I have those days time to time. Yes, it feels good. Resting is very important in my productivity.
To reset.
To rest and to not think about work and like music and everything.
Do you do that every week? Do you manage to do it?
Or every 2 weeks for sure. Yeah, I do it often.
Like a me day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mental day is so important. That's what keeps me motivated.
Yeah, very cool. And then any projects, activities, anything you're looking forward to? The remix is probably
remix is part of it. I'm very excited to finish it. It's gonna be on Billy Joe label, and there will be a back-to-back closing with Ruizo's one in RSO that I'm looking forward, because I never played closing in RSO, and I love RSO, and I love playing with her, so it's gonna be nice. But other than that, these
are the main things.
Yes, the main thing.
One closing question that we always ask every guest. What question do you want us to ask the next guest?
I think a good question would be, what piece of advice did you receive that deeply impact your career and your creativity?
Okay, very deep. And as you can imagine, there is a question for you.
What is the question? From who?
I'm not going to tell you from who.
You cannot tell me? Okay.
I cannot tell you. But the question is, are you happy with your life choices?
Yes, I'm happy. Yes, because like, for me, I don't want any regret, and I'm always following my heart and gut. And so like, I'm happy because I assume my choice.
There was a full body yes.
Yes.
Very convinced.
I mean, it's like, of course, I'm not happy every day, but I'm happy with my life.
Very cool. Yeah.
Yes.
super inspiring.
Okay.
Yeah, Rose,